UVCE Chronicles, sing it loud. Echoes of our past we're proud. From the heart of Bangalore to the world we soar.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of UVCE Chronicles. I am Aditya Patavardhanam from 4th Sem Electronics and Communication Engineering. Ashley?
Yeah, and I'm Ashray Sudhakar, again from 4th Sem Electronics and Communication Engineering.
And we will be co-hosting your next episode today. And today we have with us one of the most distinguished alumni, Mr. Rama Murali, who's currently working at Airbus in the United Kingdom. And I won't go much into details about his extensive career history in the aviation industry. He's worked at ISRO and he's currently working at Airbus. And at UVC Chronicles, sir, we believe nothing is better than a first-hand introduction from the guest. Can you please give us a first-hand introduction of yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Aditya and Asshray. Yeah, I should thank you and Adrian to reach out to me and enable this session. It's always nice to talk to the younger generation, and even it's been quite a long time I left UVCE, so I always enjoy going back to the college and talking to the new generation and trying to know different things. So yeah, just to introduce myself, so I'm Rama Murali. I studied electronics and engineering from UVC between 2005 to 9. So yeah, I'm currently working in Airbus Defence and Space here at UK. So my career post UVC graduation has always been in the space industry. So I was lucky enough to join Indian Space Research Organization as soon as I completed my graduation from UVC in 2009. So since 2009 till 2021 December, I was part of Indian Space Research Organization, working in different capacities, starting from spacecraft systems engineer, project manager, program manager, and different roles, taking care of different spectrum of space systems for India. And since 2022 January, I relocated here to UK and working for Airbus Defence and Space. So initially for 1 year, I was working on the telecom, SATCOM side of things, building on the payload, SATCOM payloads, and basically that kind of role. And now I'm taking care of a mission for European Space Agency, so an L-band radar mission instrument development as a Systems AIV Manager. So I think AIV basically is assembly, integration, and verification. So basically receiving the modules, building the unit, realizing the instrument, testing them, qualifying, and delivering to the further customer chain is my responsibility as an AIV manager. So that's my brief background. Yeah.
So, could you take us back to your childhood at Kasargod and what sparked your interest in science, technology, and space in general?
Yeah. There are multiple things. So just like anybody else's childhood. So I'm from a village, core village near the Kasargod district. Kasargod is basically a district. So, and I had, just like any other maybe 90s kid, I used to go to school by walking, and then I had all the struggles of a normal middle class Indian family. So, but I was lucky enough, my father was a teacher, then teaching in a school where I started my schooling. So because of I had some background, like my father was a teacher, so I had that importance of education in the family inculcated in the while growing up. So that gave me some, like, that taught me. He didn't ask me to sit down and study, or he didn't even teach me when I was at home. He didn't give me homework, or he didn't ask me to do homework, or he didn't follow it up. He was just going to school and teaching what he was always used to do, what he does the best. Now, but he always, like both the parents, they always gave that importance of significance of education in the family. So myself and my sister both, we were, while growing up, that was something we always knew, that education is significant, important. Now, the second part is my mother was an voracious reader. So she used to read a lot of novels, magazines, different types of books. So that got me into reading as well. So I, even when I was very like, I started reading at very early age. It need not be any like significant book. Whatever comes into my hand, I used to start reading. And that's how I developed reading. And I think, again, I was lucky enough that I had a lot of good teachers throughout, starting from first standard all the way so far. I had some best teachers at that time. So my liking for science and technology has contributions from all of them, like be it my first science teacher, or even I should say that, because in some way or the other, I feel that whoever is around us has some role to play in our journey. So, and for me, if this is where I am today, that they all have equal roles. So I should say that the liking is mainly from the teachers, because again, I was good at maths, I was good at science. So that is anyway naturally was there as a when I grew up. So that I didn't have any difficulty on learning maths, or maybe because my father was a maths and science teacher to begin with. Then again, I had a lot of friends around us, and always we had this kind of healthy competition around me. So I, from the day one, like always there used to be someone else who is slightly better than, or maybe competing closely with me from first standard onwards. So that gave me an edge, like, okay, I need to do better. That kind of competitiveness was there in the mind. So that started from there, but yeah, then it carried on. So initial liking for science and technology's contribution is mainly for my parents and the teachers. So that is how I started. But honestly, I didn't have any idea what I want to become, or I didn't have any kind of, let's say you would have heard so a lot of dreams, like any, I didn't have any such things. I didn't even know what I should do after 10th standard, because I didn't have that, like anybody as a reference who has gone beyond graduation in the family, or who has achieved bigger stuff. Maybe there are some far relatives, but I didn't have any direct connections at that time. So I didn't know what I should do after 10th. So I completed my 10th standard, and I still remember I got very good marks, luckily. But then I was just thinking, what should I do next? And just like any other kid, I said, okay, I want to do engineering. But then again, I was not sure myself that whether I should take up engineering or medical. So I just ended up in taking PCMB. So I let me have options. But I was clear that I should go into the science stream. That clarity I had. But I didn't have any bigger vision, bigger ambitions, nothing. Then I went to SDM College, Ujire, Dharmasthala. So I had, again, those 2 years there, it was more like a residential college. I had the best time there. I had amazing friends who are still like my best friends. So they helped me, or they played a lot of like significant part in my life. So they helped me to come around, like, so that helped me as well. As I had some great friends there. So that again helped me to build what I am today. So but when I started studying both maths, PCM and PCB, again, just like any other kid who normally takes up both options and let's see how it goes. Again, I think that's where, again, I would say teachers have very important role to like create interest, as well as um, for every kid's life, because I had some amazing physics teachers and some amazing maths teachers. Now that triggered me, that point helped me to think, okay, this is where I want to be. So it drove me totally into the engineering stream. Though I did well in biology, I did good, got good scores. I could have always gone to the medical side, but that triggered me to take up engineering. Again, another maybe constraint or uh, maybe driving factor to take the decision was the financial background as well.
Just
Maybe
lock
that
the
also
door
would have
from
played some
outside.
role if I look back now, because
Lock the
we
door
always
from
had this
outside.
struggle. And just like any middle class family, had always the struggle for making ends
Oh,
meet when it comes to like taking up bigger, picking up bigger colleges or going for bigger institutions. So maybe that also triggered to some extent to take engineering. And honestly, I still remember the day we went. And at that time, there was no internet to choose the colleges or anything. We just had to go physically to that Malleshwaram 18th Cross CET cell. We had to sit there in front in the row and select the college as it displays in the screen. So that's what used to happen. And I just saw when my ranking came, I had some 2-3 options, and I chose UVCE because I saw my previous candidates picking up UVCE. I didn't know about UVCE, what it is. I didn't know about any colleges. I didn't do much homework. I knew that time RV PESIT were the best colleges. But because of my background or my interest, I wanted to study something physics, chemistry, or engineering side, electronics, basically, because I liked physics. And I learned some electronics in the physics. So that is why I thought, okay, I should learn something electronics. But I didn't have electronics in those, at that time, the top 3 or 4 colleges. And my previous candidates were picking up UVC. So I ended up picking UVC. And that's how I ended up in UVC. So, and then again, after joining UVC, it was not that I wanted to study space science or I wanted to do end up in ISRO. I didn't even know what is an ISRO, honestly. I never bothered even, or I didn't have anybody to guide me or anything to, okay, you should go to ISRO or you should look to the space. I didn't even know that the space is a domain or there is an opportunity there. It's hard to believe, but it is the reality. Then when I joined UVC as well, like I was a bit of, because I came from maybe my background and I studied in a village all the time and first time I'm coming to. But one, like if I look, one thing is always constantly changing in myself is I'm going to newer places where I do not know anybody. I do not know anything. Like after 10th, I moved to my PUC to Dharmasthala. There, I was the only person from my school. I didn't have any friends when I started there. And I didn't know anybody. I didn't know even that point of time because I studied in a Kannada medium school. So starting English was a bit challenging for me. In fact, I remember I failed in one of the exams beginning as well. So that is how it started. But after 2 years, I ended up giving my best and I emerged as one of the toppers. And then when I came to Bangalore, similar thing started. I didn't know anybody. This is the first time I'm coming to Bangalore. I didn't know how to go to even college from my hostel. I didn't know anyone. And in maybe lucky or unlucky, no one from my previous college was there in UVC as well. So I was the only one. Then again, after that, like after UVC, when I joined ISRO, same thing repeated. I didn't know anybody in ISRO, and I don't know the area. I don't know the domain. And same thing again repeated when I took up my master's, and again same thing repeated when I came to UK. So it's happening in very like periodically that I go to place where I don't know anybody, I don't know anything, and I try to establish myself. But throughout this kind of process, what is helping me is to challenge myself to and testing my what extent I can go and establishing myself and fight for establishment. That is always helping me to grow as an individual and contribute. So Now coming back to the story, so that is how I ended up in UVC, and that is how things went on. So yeah, that's about my childhood till UVC maybe.
Yes, I think that was a wonderful answer about your childhood and the way you ended up now here in the United Kingdom. I think it'll inspire many people who are having the same story as you.
See,
My next,
it's yeah, true. Like it's just that. So yeah, it is just that I don't know. At that point of time, I never had that inhibition, or I didn't know where I will end up. Honestly, it just happened. And now, if I look back, I'm able to connect and make stories. But at that time, nothing. Like just like how the Steve Jobs says in one of his addresses, you can't really move forward by it looking forward. You can only connect backwards by connecting the dots. Something similar, yeah.
yes, that's very true. My next question for you is how was your life during your time at UVC, and what were some of your best memories?
Yeah. So best memory starts from the first day itself, because I still remember. I don't know how the UVC today, but at that point of time, we so that was the first day in the college, and we all reached at 8:30 in the morning. Think because we were early, like 8:45 or something, and we were there at 8:30, and then nobody turned up to the class till 11 o'clock. We were just waiting for somebody to come. And in between, some of the seniors came and told that nobody's going to come. You can just roam around or you can relax. But still, first day, right? We had that. So after some time, HOD, I think then HOD came and he uh, spoke to the class, and he told, this is not like any other college what you have seen or your friends are seeing. You will have a lot of freedom here to like play or do things, but it is up to you to what you want to become. So you will have a lot of freedom, but creating your career is in your hands, kind of thing. And that I still remember, and that actually was true, because we had a lot of freedom. Because what used to happen is there were very few professors at that point of time for quite a long time, but they were all super experienced. Like they used to have classes, like we used to have their classes once a week, twice a week, 2 hours, but that was just enough to teach, and enough to for them to teach us the concepts which maybe other lecturers would have taken hours. So that way we had very small chunks of classes, but we had extensive experience from them. So that helped us as well, because we had plenty of free time to do our own thinking, to do our own interest and pursue our interests. And always one thing constant was the support from seniors as well. Like I still remember when we were second year, I think end of first year and all, seniors used to come to the class and pull us out and take us for, like, let's say they used to interact with us, take us for the festivals, organizing festivals. See, that kind of encouragement from the seniors as well is very rare in most, as I have seen. And again, from the professors as well, like they had a lot of experience, and whenever you go to them with some problem, they always had the answer. They may not give you the direct answer. They will always say, you look in this direction. They will always guide you. They may not give you the exact answer what you're looking for. And at that stage, when you are in undergraduation level, that is what you need as well. You need a guide, not a teacher, like who teaches you line by line and asks you to write exam. And another beautiful thing about UVC is we used to have a syllabus and we used to have reference books. We never used to have a textbook. Like there were textbooks mentioned, but you never expect questions from that book. That was always the history. Now, if you look back, like at that point of time, we used to curse because always we look forward to get more marks, or that was the natural tendency at that time. But now, if I look back, see, that is the best thing happens. Like how there is properly, let's say, a master's or research happens, they will have syllabus and they will have reference books. And always the questions will be around the syllabus, but you won't get the exact questions. And that helped us as well because we could create our own notes, our own stuffs to prepare for the exams. And that helped us actually. And I should thank a couple of my friends, Harsh and Supreet. We were kind of, they were my close friends at that time. And again, they're still good. We are in very close touch and everything. So we thought, okay, we are in second year. Let's say what to do now. Let's try to do something different because we had a lot of time, free time again. So then we approached one of our professors and he said, I can help you guide if you are ready to take up something. Let's start something. So in fact, to the extent that he even gave his room for us to do our research, he even gave the keys to his room. So he told us, you come and work here anytime you want. See, that is the kind of encouragement we got at that time. Now, you are in fourth sem and you don't have any idea of what actually even in electronics is, because you would have just studied some generic physics, chemistry, all those cycles and just started with digital electronics and all. But at that time itself, you had I had the experience, exposure to all these things. So at one end, there was organizations, like organizing skills were getting developed. At another end, technically as well, I had opportunity to grow, and there were friends to support, and professors who are always approachable. See, if you look at the positives there, like there are a lot of things, and that actually helped me grow further as well, both places. And again, I still remember some of the moments, like these mock placements were very crazy like that time. I don't know how it is now, but mock placements were super crazy then, because everyone was preparing for placements when they reach. And that point of time, the placements used to start even at fifth sem beginning. And most of us got placed in end of fifth sem, sixth sem. So we had a job by end of fifth, sixth semester. So it's not, and now maybe they would have slightly delayed it because of some experiences. But so if you want to get a job in fifth sem, you need to start preparing at second year itself. So we started attending these mock placements, and seniors used to come and again take us and make us participate, push us to participate. And I always used to fail in the group discussions. That is something I hated the most at that time to start with, because I always didn't know what to talk in the group. But I was good at personal interviews, one-to-one. But when it comes to group discussions, I can't. So I still remember those days and even organizing fest. And one more thing I should mention when I talk about UVC is the IEEE UVC. And the atmosphere it gave us actually, in terms of technical aptitude development or organization developments, and even the friendships, what it gave us, like it was amazing. We had some best moments there, and we could have some good festivals organized. And in fact, that point of time, we even had to go to many colleges, canvas for the fest, sell the tickets. And I don't know how it is now, but we had to do it in person. We had to go to so the competition was like, who can go to maximum colleges and get maximum tickets sold. So that kind of that was fun at that point of time, but indirectly it was teaching us a lot of things, which now if I look back can relate. So yeah, it was overall, it was a good experience, and these are some of the moments. Yeah.
So it was very nice knowing about your days at UVC. One more thing I would like to tell is even I am part of IEEE UVC. I'm the RECCOM right now. And I'm not sure if you remember, you had recently, during the month of October, you have given a talk regarding space
Yes.
science even there. And coincidentally, I was the host. I was the person who gave introduction about you and delivered the vote of
Okay.
thanks back then as well. So yeah,
That's
kind of a
interesting.
coincidence. Yeah. Also, speaking about your master's, so what motivated you to pursue RF and microwave engineering at
Yes.
IIST, and Since because it's a very niche domain, unlike many people focus in electronics part, not many pursue communication part of it. And how can one join IIST?
So yes, actually, it happened again. It was not very planned one or anything. So I was working. I don't know whether you're aware. Once I joined ISRO, I started working on land Chandrayaan mission initially. Then I moved on to Mars orbiter mission. And while working for Mars orbiter mission, something attracted me in the overall configuration. That was the RF systems there of configuring the RF systems. Why it interested me was like RF designing or developing an RF system was one of the most challenging part for a deep space mission. Why? Because of multiple things. One was, as you may all aware, that there is long delays in communication. One signal goes in, it takes 20 minutes to reach and 20 minutes to come back when it is in the far side. All those. Second thing was, another important thing was the navigation. So when you design a mission or spacecraft, when you send a spacecraft to space, you should know, like, entire mission life, the mission is pre-designed. How it should go, in which orbit it should go, at what time, where it should be. Everything is pre-designed. And you keep track of it by monitoring the current position of the spacecraft. So to know the position and to navigate the spacecraft in the required orbits, the most key element, I don't know whether you are aware of the Keplerian elements. They are the ones, the 6 elements of Keplerian, they are the ones basically decides the position of the spacecraft, shape of the orbit, where it is at what time, everything. Now, and that is the key for any mission. And that is decided by some input from the communication system. So communication system played a very key role in Mars orbiter mission, and that actually maybe interested me to take up that RF and microwave side of it. And I enjoyed working with the communication systems as well. So, and again, there's another part of it is the electromagnetics part. I don't know whether you have that subject called fields and waves in your third, fourth semester. Or so that subject is more considered as one of the toughest subjects in electronics and communication then. So, but I always enjoyed the way those concepts were. Like, there was a lot of maths behind it, and there are a lot of imaginary things, which you cannot really see it in physical sense to understand it. But that is something connected to the RF system again, and that part of it I enjoyed working on it. So that, and along with that, there was when I was in ISRO, there was an opportunity for us to apply for higher studies. And at that time, when I applied, IIST was an easy option for me at that point of time. And it was a very well-established institution as well. So I just took it up. I didn't know what it is, or I didn't even do a proper, I didn't do a comparative study of multiple universities finalized on, no such thing. But I was clear what I wanted to do. So for that, whichever came in forward, and that point of time, IIST was the option. But now, as I understand, it's just like any other IITs. You have, I think you need to clear those exams and you can get into IIST. Anybody can get into IIST. And when I joined IIST, the project I took up is something called terahertz detector using a graphene FET. So again, I didn't know anything about what is a graphene, what is a 2D material, what is how do you even do an e-beam lithography, how do you nanofabrication? I didn't know any of them. I learned everything, but I enjoyed learning that. So I had some good experience working in the clean room and developing the things and characterizing terahertz characterizations on those FETs. So I could do some contribution there as well. And then when I came back after my master's, so because I had studied RF and stuff, and I had some interest in the RF side of things, so naturally I was moved into SATCOM side of things, and yeah, then it went on. So yeah.
Yes, that's a wonderful answer. I think as a childhood dream, I always have that one dream to be in the clean room wearing the entire kit and actually working on something hands-on.
Yeah, I do it day in, day out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's always been a childhood dream of mine.
So yeah, it's again like, see, I didn't know anything and I didn't actually like, I just ended up there and I tried my best. That's it, I would say.
Yes, sir. So you worked on some of the most famous missions launched by ISRO, Chandrayaan-2 as well as the Mars Orbiter mission.
Yeah.
Especially Mars Orbiter mission, given its extreme global reputation of achieving it
Yeah.
in the first attempt. How was your experience being a part of this mission, as well as even being the manager on the MOM mission?
Yeah. So again, it just happened by luck. So when I joined ISRO, so it was a central scheme of like I had to write a national level exam. And I think at that time it was Chandrayaan 1 just launched and there was a lot of craze across for the space missions. And I didn't know anything about it at that time. I had three options. Like at that morning when I went to exam, that morning I decided to go to ISRO and write that exam. So till that time, I didn't know I should write for ISRO exam. I just applied whichever I came in like the employment news. So one was ISRO, one was Air Force, and one was IAC, PhD. So three exams coincided on the same day. And that day morning, I just got up and was talking to my friend. And I told him, okay, let me write this exam. So I went and wrote, and maybe just I got selected for the next round of interview. And that interview was again good. Some 8 senior most expertise from ISRO interviewed me, and I did perform very well that interview as well, which is mainly technical. And yeah, I got it. Now when I joined ISRO as well, I had some 3 months of training initially, and after the 3 months training, they will randomly allocate different divisions. And for the first time, they wanted somebody to work for Chandrayaan 2 spacecraft systems level. And it just happened that they put my name under it. So I started working on Chandrayaan 2 now. Now, at that time, when I started working, that time it was not really entire indigenous project. There was some Russian collaboration and stuff. And later, the team got changed and the totally indigenous Chandrayaan 2 got developed. So my contribution to Chandrayaan 2 is the old configuration of the Chandrayaan 2, which never launched. So that was only limited to a couple of years. Then after that, what happened when the Chandrayaan 2 new team took up for totally indigenous solution? So it was just another 2 years after I joined. There was another concept of going to Mars. There is an exploration, like whether we can go to Mars. A study team got formed, and they could. So I started supporting that team, and I got pulled by that team, and I got started working on the Mars Orbiter mission from day one. That is how I joined Mars Orbiter mission team. And again, I worked as a systems engineer and project manager for the Mars Orbiter mission. And that is one project where I am very proud and lucky as well that from concept till the launch, I was there. So I have seen an entire life cycle of a space mission there for the first time. Otherwise, I had worked on many other missions, but it was very short time, more like a supporting role. But this is where I could actually see how a space mission is designed, how it is realized, and how it is launched, and how the mission it is navigated till the Mars, and how the insertion happens. All those. So that is how it is. And for me, the first thing I still remember, the first challenge, or these 3 months of when I joined ISRO, the 3 months of training period, they asked me to develop or take up a project to design a brushless DC motor for Chandrayaan 2 rover. The what you call pulse width, you can change the pulse width and you can change the torque and force for the rover movement. And as any others graduate student, I just went with a lot of enthusiasm and started presenting hi-fi concepts. Then there itself, I was shot down. They asked me to explain in a simple terms. And that is when I realized, basically, it is always important to explain things in a very simple way, and that makes it the best product. And that is, at least has been my experience in working in the space industry. How simple you can explain it, that shows that how much you know the concept. It is always easy to confuse people with a lot of complex terminologies and everything, but it's always most challenging part is how can you explain the concepts to a layman who doesn't know anything. So that is one of the good, like, big learning for me. And yeah, after that, again, realizing all those were part of the job, and I enjoyed working there. So I had the best. Luckily I had the best mentors there. I had the best colleagues, and I made some good friends there as well. So that's been my experience.
It was very wonderful to know that, sir. Also, it inspires a lot of us that person from electronics and communication background working in a organization which completely deals with space science and technology, that there is a room even for people from other branches, not only just aerospace and aeronautical engineering. Also, it just inspired me that if you're technically sound and you're very strong with whatever concepts, then there's no limit to whatever you can achieve.
Yeah, that is true. So, like, just to add there, like, basically one thing what my seniors taught me in UVC, at UVC again, is like, I still remember some of our seniors were extremely good at technical aptitude. We were looking up to them like, oh, that guy is amazing in his technical. The way they used to explain the concepts and stuff, we had some amazing seniors. Now, looking at them, so that naturally triggered us to have our bases strong, the fundamentals strong. So we started working on it, and that actually is helping even till today. It is very important that we keep our basics strong. So strong in the sense you try to understand the concepts as a uh, and one thing I still remember, if like one of my seniors told is, when interviewer asks something, you try to explain in simple real life examples. Let's say when they ask about modulation, you say that you can walk or you can go by bus. So if you have a carrier, it is efficient. It's such real life examples. Now these kind of things, right? In like unknowingly, this kind of shared knowledge actually triggers us to look into that direction. Now, once we get such inputs, we always try to look at such things, and that's the easiest way even to stop an interviewer from asking more questions, right? When he asks about modulation, you talk about bus and going in a journey, so he cannot ask more questions there. He stops there. Like, it's just, and again, you made sure that you know the concept. So these are some of the examples where, like, which helped me, and again, that 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 was a good learning as well. Yeah.
Very beautiful analogy about modulation. I'll remember it for the rest of my life. It's really nice. Also, so
No, there
after
were some amazing. There's some amazing like such examples given by our seniors, and
uh
I think we shared with our juniors as well. So yeah,
very beautiful. Also, so after working for a decade at ISRO, you transitioned into Airbus Defence at the United Kingdom, where you're currently working. So,
yeah.
what uh, does a typical day at Airbus, your typical work profile look like, and why and how did the transition take place from ISRO to
Okay.
Airbus?
So I see multiple questions there. So uh, of course, everyone will have that question, because naturally, when I talk to somebody in my friend circle, the first question that I ask is, "Why did you leave ISRO?" And I always, the answer I give is, I left ISRO so that another somebody can like somebody got an opportunity there for working for an organization like ISRO, and they could learn and they could grow as well. So it's not that when I joined ISRO that place is mine forever. I will leave one day for sure, and somebody else has to take up. It's only question whether it is today or tomorrow. That's it. Having said that, personally, why I took up that different thing is, so as I told you always, I don't like being in a comfort zone for longer. I always try to like, so whenever I feel like, okay, I'm in a very comfort zone, I try to go out of it into totally unknown territory and try to do something. You would have even seen my examples. Like I joined UVC, then I joined ISRO, and then I joined my MTech into a totally different. So it's always been the case, and naturally it happens. Even if it just triggers me to do that. So that may be one of the reasons. And again, one more reason was maybe is at that time around 2020s, a lot of commercial activities started happening in the space industry. Till then it was more like a closed thing, but after that a lot of commercial and a lot of reforms, policies, changes, a lot of things came into picture in India as well as in external side. That gave me thinking that maybe I should do something on those lines as well, not just staying in that organization and keep on doing. Instead, maybe I can grow myself and challenge myself better if I go out. That is what triggered me to take up that decision. Again, why I came out of India, for that, the best answer I would give is like, when you have a house, you want to know how good is your house or how beautiful is your house. You can look, when you're being inside the house, you can say, my house is the best house, there is nobody else. But you can always come out of the house, look at your house and say that, okay, this is good in my house, this is bad, I need to fix this, I can do this better. So that is what made me to take up this challenge. If I go out into a totally different place outside India and look at my house, like the space sector in India, and I get that experience. Again, why Europe? There is another answer, because European space sector is more matured in terms of commercialization. So space is in like booming now. You would have seen in the news and everywhere, like thanks to SpaceX to create that kind of craze among everyone. So definitely space is maybe, I don't know, exaggerated, or it is evolving, or whatever you call it. So everyone is looking forward and everyone thinks space is the future. Maybe true for many reasons, because be it clean energy, or be it the cargo transportation system, or the Starlink replacing the terrestrial communication system. So there are many avenues we can see that space can come forward and do a lot of changes in the system, disrupt the market in many places. There is a lot of things can be done by the private players, because whatever certain said, government cannot spend beyond some limit, because it has other programs to cater to as well. It has limitations. So now that gap can be filled by the commercial sectors effectively. So it's being promoted and it's very natural. And it is the best thing to do as well. And today there are many private players, venture capitalists who are ready to fund. And there are many entrepreneurs who can come forward and develop something, do something in space. And there are many skilled people, skilled uh, engineers available or scientists available to make it happen. If you are really interested in doing something, you can always start yourself. Today there are a lot of access to this resources is unlimited today. You can reach out to anybody through LinkedIn, or there are many social media platforms. You can reach out to the best in the field, best of best. So if you are interested to do some research, reach out to people, whomever you see on LinkedIn as a best, like, their profile, and you can always search how many publications they have or what are their contribution to the industry. Reach out to them. Like, nobody will say no. At least whomever I have interacted have always responded to me, and I know for sure that is same for others as well. So it is important that you reach out, you speak up. Nobody would know that you are interested until you go and tell them that you are interested. So you should come out of that uh, shell, and you should come out and talk to people and say that I want to do this. Can you? I know many people struggle with other challenges, that they have a lot of options to choose from, and they are having struggled to choose. Every 3 months they keep shifting the fields. I'm not saying that is wrong, but there are so many opportunities in front of them. They don't know what to do. So today the situation is in that direction rather than struggling to find an option. And I know for sure, even the undergraduates, if you have a good, let's say, good research aptitude or interest in doing research, if you just write to any professors across the globe today, there are offers being made that to come and work with them in their research labs. Professors are looking for researchers. That is on research front. Now on the industry front, like in India itself, a lot of startups are coming and a lot of industries are coming, and even globally there are, like for example, Airbus has a global graduate program. After engineering, they pick people from anywhere across the globe and train them for 2 years with salary, and that is open to anybody across the globe. So there are such programs. Even Airbus has an internship programs. Even ISRO started doing internships, and there are a lot of things possible in ISRO as well. So options are plenty today. It's not that you don't have options. It's only struggle is to choose what is the option you should choose so that it helps you to grow. And that is something you need to, as an individual, what are your preferences and how you take it up. But honestly, as I see it, let's say you took up something, I would say whatever you take up, try to do an honest justice to your work or the job. Give your best where you can, and that will take you to the places. You don't need to look and struggle to get there. Whatever work you take up, even if it is just a small task of getting a paper printed, do it with the perfection. Then that takes you everywhere. It's not that only by doing some core technical works you get there. Anything, doing even a small work, it is very, very important. And you know that, I don't need to tell, in space domain especially, even 1 mm has failed missions, a gap of 1 mm. So even minor details are very, very important. Even when you draw a drawing, like let's say you are generating a drawing, 3D model or even 2D models, drawing a line is also very important. If you just mess it up, it will mess up a lot of things in the future. So even the minute details are important. So whatever you are taking up, do it your best, give your best. That is the only suggestion I have. And that will definitely take you to the next level. I know many examples, even in ISRO, there were people who were heading transport divisions, ended up being almost like vice chairman or even chairman kind of positions, or director level position. So it doesn't matter what activity you do, but how you do it is only defines what you are capable of.
Yes, sir. I think that is some solid advice that you have given to people like Sohan and anybody like me or Asray who are very interested in the aerospace side of things and the
Yeah,
industry
and
altogether.
yeah, just to add, maybe like whomever is interested to reach, like discuss or share or get like some advices, I'm happy to do that. Giving advice is always easy. So don't hesitate to reach out if you want anything. Yeah.
Surely, sir. I think we're at the end of the episode, and I would like to thank you, sir, for all the wonderful stories, advices, anecdotes, and from I think I should start from your childhood, from the way you have inspired yourself, and I think everybody's going to watch this episode from your early days at Kasargod. Now you're in the UK. Think that will inspire anybody who watches this episode. Not only have geeks, I think anybody across the spectrum will be inspired by how much you've achieved over the course of years from your humble backgrounds.
Thank you so much. It's a very nice, kind of you to say those words. Thank you so much. And
Yes.
thank you for this opportunity as well, where I could share with the young next generation my experiences.
Yes, sir. So thank you very much for your time, your advice, and your stories.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. It was an honor meeting you, sir.
Thank you.